Oxy on TrendSpider. There we go. And I gotta lower my volume and hit on here. Hit the thumbs up button if you're joining later. We're in for a shit show of a day. Schwab is at, it says 56.56. I gotta put that down too. Schwab CEO bought 50K shares, about $3 million worth. Scans. Morning, James. I'm sad that I sold my SQQQ, by the way, Friday. Let's see what it's trading at. Right now it's at 38. My guess, yeah, I mean, DPST. Oh, I need to look at that. I need to add that into my I mean, here's the frustrating part is I'm hearing that from people smarter than me, that we're in for a crisis. Yeah, James, I think you're on the right side. You're definitely on the right side. I mean, I'm seeing Bank of America is down 3%, Cleveland Cliffs is down 3%, Devon Energy is down another 3%, Goldman Sachs is down 3%, Oxy is down 3%, Roblox is down 3%, Shopify down 3%, Snowflake down 3%, Time and Property Group down 3%. I mean, just the 3% is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, Tesla's down 1.85. So, well, I had hope. I think we're in for a hurt. I think TQQQ goes under 20 again. The VIX is at 27, which is up 17% today. That's going back to 30. But I don't know that you can trade UVXY because it has been going crazy. I mean, look, it got up to freaking $7.20. And it crashed down. It's at $6.60. It's up 14% today. So, but you're using that 200-day as your resistance level, so you're trading at 659. I think 707 is essentially where you go. Morning, Matt. I'm gonna do my scans, and just for the 9 people that are here, just so you know, if you're expecting a long one today, I probably will not have a long one. My pet sitter backed out, so I've got to make some calls this morning, do some things. I got to fix my front door. My front door is messed up. Snowflake crossed up. Google crossed up. Walmart crossed up. Saudi National Bank, by the way. I should bring that up, but yeah. Let's say that Saudi National Bank to put more capital in. Morning, Joe. HIBS. What's HIBS? Let's see. High beta. It's a bear. I don't think I have this one in our 3 times. I don't. I should add this one to levered ETFs to trade. I didn't have this one in there. It's HIBL, the opposite. Yeah. We'll add this one in too. Yes. This one's down 8%. So HIBS is up 4%. It's crazy that one's down 8% and one's up only 4%. You would think that one, if it was actually inverse and true, they should be up the same. You got a gap up here. Honestly, I don't think I want to. Let me see, strategy tester. And it says Apple crossed up. But I think it's a secondary cross up. It said snowflake crossed up, but I think that's on a previous candle because I put some flexibility into the scans that I do. Oh, it was on the last one. Okay. Let's go back to the market scanner and we'll go boom, brokerage holdings, Walmart. We'll put them in. I'll put them in, but there's no way I would buy. I'm going to say that. It's just too volatile for me. Core investments probably is very much the same. Let's see. TSM, BA, Meta, Costco. You had a lot of cross-ups because yesterday was a good day. And energy even had a good day yesterday. It's having a bad day today. TQQQ crossed up. Man, it's down 5%. GDXU is a... I woke up this morning and saw... So when I woke up at about 5 o'clock, the futures were down about 100. It wasn't crazy. And then the Saudi bank announced that they're not putting money into Credit Suisse, and the Dow was expected to open down to about 500 at that point. Then it went back to okay, we're only going to be down 400, and then Credit Suisse just started crashing, just absolutely crashing, and all of a sudden we were down 600. So. Yeah. The levered ETFs, that's a crazy thing, is TQQQ crossed up, but I mean, I'll bring it up, but man, there ain't no way I'm buying that stuff. If I'm going anywhere, it's going short. XLP, XLV, and XLK. We'll put those. This P is, I think this is, consumer staples. Then we've got healthcare. Healthcare might, shit. We're going into a recession. Healthcare might actually come back. XLV is finally getting a bounce, it looks like. XLK is technology. I own technology one. Spider. Let's see if our not owned list. I don't have Meta. PDD crossed up. No, I'm not gonna bring that one up. Jumia. No way. Zoom crossed up. It's down 2% though. App Harvest, which we talked about. That ain't gonna be good. Baba crossed up. And I didn't bring up Baba, but I am gonna bring up Baba. I'll be right back. I needed some water. Okay, let's see. AMAT, Applied Materials, Thermo Fisher, BII, Biogen. I'm not going to bring. You know what? I mean, I just don't feel like guiding people into ARCs. I'm not even going to scan. I'm skipping that. You can't have a credit crisis and scan ARCs ethically. There was a post from, I think, Brian in the Facebook group about how do you justify ethically putting money into stocks that are unethical. And I bring up JP Morgan a lot. Name a company that's perfect. You can't. Nike crossed up. P&G I brought up yesterday, but Boeing, they had somebody, they had somebody buy all their freaking Dreamliners. I think it was Saudi. But what, 80 Dreamliners? God, man, the scans that are going on, and it's all red. Dollar Tree is up. They had their earnings, I think. Well, no, that was last week. Must be Dollar General or something that had it this week. EA is up. No, EA is down, sorry. KLA. I think that's the campground. I don't like any of them. Again, I unless I see something that kind of stands out that I know the company, today is kind of one of those days where I'm just like, have your patience. Figure out where the market's going. I will say there was one, Schwab. That fucker bought 50,000 shares yesterday at open at 59. And Schwab right now is trading for 57. It's up. He was saying they're having a crazy amount of inflows, which is good. AbbVie cross up. That's an interesting one with healthcare kind of, being up there. Colgate Palmolive. I'm not even going to bring all these up. Because everything's red. There's just a whole shit ton of red. Let me read some of your comments. HIBS I added. HABL I added. GDXU, let me look at GDXU real quick. Because if the charts are good, I'll bring it up. And I agree with you, James. I think GDXU might be an opportunity. Because who made money in the gold rush? It was the picks and the shovels. And these guys are 3 times gold miners. So I don't agree. My friend sent me a message last night about from the New York Post or something like that. The rich dad dude was screaming, get your money into gold, get your money into silver. And he started on the video, this coin right here, blah, blah, blah. Well, we went over it on YouTube before. It's a store of value. And so, Warren Buffett believes, yeah, gold has a place, but don't put your money into it. Even in a crash, if you want to put your money in, take your money out. If you put it into gold, you're not going to make money. You're just kind of holding your money. So it might as well put in Bitcoin or Ethereum or something that's going to grow. And Mike Novogratz was on this morning, and I was watching him, and he was spouting off about how the U.S. is going to need to continue to print money and make money, and inflation pressures will be pushing this and blah, 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 but Bitcoin will stay the same. And he said Bitcoin over an adjusted basis has been a better return than any stock, including JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, any of the banks that are supposedly quote unquote safe. So he did a good job, convincing me. But DRV, let me look at DRV. This is the bear. I mean, we had this cross up right here. Let's see. I'll get off the I'm not scanning for anymore. We'll do strategy tester. DRV had a cross up here at 5106. You're at 5176. I mean, if this economy's going south, the problem is Lennar had good earnings last night. They unprecedented demand for their houses. Even with interest rates as high as they are, unprecedented demand for houses. So this one, even this is risky. On the 65-minute, let's look at the 65-minute on DRV. You're out. Ironically, you got in, you got out with a 2% loss. You're coming off this 10% gain, but you've had 2 losses in a row on the 65-minute. But see, this one gets you in and out so quickly. Now, over 1,000 candles, you lose 2% versus actually making 3%. That's 8 months. So you made eight months, you made 3% on this. I should get a Gary coin. I actually looked into it. I was going to do the code. There was code out there, and there still is code out there if you look at it, to create a coin off of the Ethereum string. And I don't know the terms about it or anything like that, but my buddy sent it to me and said, hey, let's do a daily stock pick coin, DSP coin. And it's not that hard. Honestly, it's cut and paste. The issue really is distribution. And that's why you see a lot of these YouTubers like Logan Paul and those dudes who basically create these coins out of thin air. They own a bunch of it. They run the price up. It's not like they put their money in. The coin starts at 0. So you just own a bunch of stuff that's at 0. If people are willing to pay $1 for it, boom, you've just, got $1. So say you distribute, 10,000 coins. Well, if each one's worth $1, you just created $10,000 out of the air if somebody's willing to pay $1 for it. So you own $10,000. This dude who just paid $1 owns whatever portion of that. So it's really not that hard. The hard part is the distribution and the selling of a product. And the promises, a lot of what comes along with crypto is the promises of a Ponzi scheme. So I have a little bit of a problem, and that's why I didn't start it. I almost did. If you look at, there's a channel called BBBY, I think, on YouTube. BBBY coin. Make $1 million meme coin in an hour. This is how you do it. Here, I'll link this up. He's great, by the way. I should like it. I think I subscribe on my personal side. But here, this is great. If you guys ever want to create a coin and scam people out of money, I mean, not that I'm for that. Totally against it. But I think he made $10,000 in an hour. I mean, I think he was close to $1 million in an hour or something. I mean, you can remember it's from a year ago, so I watched this a year ago, but I remember it. Lennar posted their earnings. Let's see who's XPEV. They lost 39 cents per share. By the way, if Sherry's listening, your Fisker is let me see what they're doing in pre-market, because they announced some crazy things. What's Fisker's symbol? Let me see. Fisker, FSR. I put FSKR. They announced their SUV is going to have some crazy stuff. It's down in pre-market, but that's just because they don't make money. Let's see. UNHCI, Hum are not great looking charts, but looking like they will go. Yeah, healthcare. If we go into a recession, healthcare is a safety. Yeah, Cooper, do options and you're out of my game. But McKesson, I think you brought that one up before. Hershey, ironically, Hershey had a buy yesterday on the algorithm, on the 4-hour. Here it is, 21.57. That's a buy at the algorithm. I'm sorry, 241.57. So, yeah, Hershey had a buy. FRC's tanking again. When you spend it, he yells douche. I'd like that one. Morning, Brandon. I would, if there was an ability to, put sound effects in with a coin, and we could go douche or the hubris. Jim Cramer, the hubris of these people, douche. Okay, let me get to here's the cross up on Hershey on the 4-hour. You can see it's got the ascending triangle. I mean, my problem is you're spending at 241 and HSY. Your 52-week high is 244. That's my problem with Hershey. Other than that, I mean, fuck, great company. The PE is 33. I mean, they had some here in October. This was just the Dow lows. But I remember in their earnings, they came out and said, we're going to have some earnings problems, but we should get them addressed. And I think they addressed them right away. January 6th, Evercore outperformed it in line with a $245 price. I mean, that's the problem is you're buying it right into its strength. Let me see if the Schwab buy is in there. There it is. $2.9 million worth. 59.31. And Schwab right now is trading at $57. So if you want to get in there with the CEO, I mean, look at all those buys from insiders yesterday. 289. I mean, that's buys from insiders. And that's not like, you can look at the sales that they've done recently, around 80. This is an $80 stock. You may have to put up with some discomfort in the near term, but they ain't going out of business. This ain't going to zero. I can't imagine Schwab goes to zero. They have, like they said, they have enough deposits. Wells Fargo, it did come out yesterday, I think. Wells Fargo, and it was late in the day. Wells Fargo filed for some of that protection. Analyst report. You can read this stuff if you want. I guess it's not. It wasn't released or anything. I think it's just mentioned in here. Yeah. It's just mentioned in that article. But I did hear that Wells Fargo had filed for the protection. And not that they didn't have enough. The question was, did they file just because we can get free money? Or did they file because there was a problem? And it looks like they just filed just because they needed to. I'll bring up DPST. Let me put it on my thing. Yeah, I'll bring up DPST. We'll start with SPY. I mean, here's the thing. You had the morning candle was red. The afternoon candle was green. I mean, it was a crazy day yesterday. We pushed up close to the 4,000. I mean, 4,000 is providing a pretty good resistance level at this point in time. And that's right at the 200-day. You can see, didn't want to go over the 200-day. You know what? I'll save it for the podcast. Okay, I'm going to start the podcast now. By the way, before I start, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm here every morning if you're not one of the regulars, but I have a feeling that everybody's a regular at this point. But definitely hit the subscribe button. And the other thing, and I will mention this too, I am going hiking tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Like I said at the beginning, but I don't think anybody was listening. My pet sitter backed out, so today's going to be kind of short. I'm going to try and get out of here about 10:15 or so. I got to make some phone calls to the boarding place to try and get the dogs some boarding. I hope they're sleeping now and they're snoring in the background. And that pleases me because when they go into the boarding place, they don't sleep. These little fuckers, they don't sleep whatsoever. And they come home and they're exhausted. I feel so bad. And Penny's exhausted, the brown one. If you guys have seen my dogs, I've got one kind of copper one, and she's called Penny, and one who's really dark. She's like an Australian kind of mix. They're both tiny. They're both like 9 and 12 pounds. But Daisy, the dark one who has seizures, and she's not the healthiest of dogs, but she's the happiest of dogs. But she does not like staying at that place. Penny, on the other hand, who came from a hoarder's house with 47 other dogs, it's like fucking lunchtime to her. Remember when you were a kid and lunchtime came up and you got to go out to the playground? That's what 24 hours a day is like in that place for Penny. She loves it. They call her crackhead. But she is nasty as F if she doesn't know you and you come into her space. So she bit a pit bull. There's a pit bull called Buster down the street. Sweetest dog. He always used to chase he's got a brain tumor now, but he always used to chase the UPS and FedEx truck up and down the hill. And Penny walked out there. Buster's sitting there, tail wagging. He's happy. Big old pit bull. She says hi and bites him right on the freaking nose. Little fucker. Ugh, okay. But yeah, I'm getting off. I won't be on tomorrow. I'll still kind of check out the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, down below there's a link tree. And you can check out the link tree for it's got logos, and you can see the Facebook logo. Just join the Facebook group. It's got the Instagram, the Twitter, all that stuff. Market just opened up, and of course my Active Trader Pro. Hold on, let me restart Active Trader Pro. We'll restart it. I'm going to bring up visible, tipping, ID, shop. I'm bringing up my sponsors, and TrendSpider. By the way, TrendSpider is they're such a good company. I really like those guys. They're trying their best to do whatever their customers need. They did an update last night. It's funny. I think they did 3. If you guys, any of you are product managers or any software as a service kind of folks, you guys know software. It's called Agile. Is the way that you run a. Hold on, 754. And it's an agile software program. So they do a lot of on-the-fly updates, and since it's web-based, they just kind of blog people off in the middle of the night. They're heavily U.S.-based, but their developers are in the Ukraine and overseas. And so they did an update last night. It was funny because I think I was on last night, and I'm sitting there, and it says update. So I said update, and then I get in this morning, and my computer says update. So they've been releasing stuff overnight. All night, it seems. Let's see. The Dow is down 1.64. The NASDAQ 1.11. The VIX is up at 27. SPY is down 1.4. So it's a green candle, though. Okay, let's get into the podcast. Good morning. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, March 15th. Let's see. Europe is crashing. Oil and commodities are down. Credit Suisse in Europe, by the way, is the bank that is crashing. We went over Credit Suisse a couple months ago. We're at $4. It was great. It went up to like $6. Great trade. Hopefully you took profits. You didn't stay in it thinking, oh my God, this bank is going to be around forever. Credit Suisse is probably on it. I think it was down, the last check, it was down like 30% or so. Let me see if it's here in the US. Here it is. It is trading at $1.85. So you can see that drop off right there. There is no hope of this gap getting filled, by the way. Most likely this is going to go the way of Silicon Valley Bank. The Saudis were asked to put money back into Saudi National Bank. They refused to put, they already own about 10% of Credit Suisse. They refused to put more money into them. So they were down significantly. And when I say oil and everything, Devon is down at 45. I mean, Devon is down 7% at 45. You're getting close. Oxy is down at 57. MPLX, let's look at MPLX. MPLX is down only 1.4. Exxon is down 4%. So you're getting killed. Essentially, you've got oil and commodities. I mean, even Cleveland Cliffs is down 5%. Oil and all commodities are getting killed. That's a recession fear. Credit Suisse is going down. The banks are continuing to fall. And the dollar is strengthening. And a letter came out this morning from Larry Fink of BlackRock that he says there's more to fall. He doesn't believe that we're still healthy. And he sees inflation running hot, 3 to 5% for the foreseeable future, at least the next few years. So there is a significant breakage in this system that's currently going on. All 11, the market just opened up. I'm recording this at 9:34. All 11 sectors of the S&P are down. If we go to the heat map, well, it'll be at 9:45. The heat map will open up because your boy doesn't pay for elevated FinViz, so it's 15 minutes delayed. But all of them are down. If we go back to look at SPY, let me make sure I'm on the, I'm on TrendSpider. We look at SPY. This is the 4-hour algorithm. Like I said, it got you out at about 393, where the buy-in was at 402. And I said, hey, we had that button hook and we're heading down. I thought there was a button hook here with this huge green candle of 1.21% March 13th, just a couple of days ago on Monday. Monday morning, huge green candle. Thought we were seeing a button hook. We saw, even though yesterday's morning candle was a red candle, still was up. Yesterday's afternoon candle was a green candle. So everything looked fine. And then you get Europe today. And so you've got, again, the RSI went from 30 to 43 yesterday. And now it's down at 36. You're seeing enormous selling pressure. There's one green in our, a couple now. But Costco, ironically, is up. So again, everything that I'm seeing seems to think that we're not probably going down to the October lows of 376, but we may hit 380, and you're at 386 right now. So it's not a huge move down, another 2%. Am I expecting us to go back to 360? No, I just don't see it. Again, I could be completely wrong. Rule number 1, don't listen to some douche on the internet. And I'm a douche on the internet. Completely. But I've got some things to go over. I just wanted to make sure you guys know. If I were trading anything today, and again, I am not trading anything. I am staying patient. I still hold my Bank of America. I still hold my Wells Fargo. I still hold my Cleveland Cliffs. I haven't put the stop losses on there. I haven't added to them. I bought them. I'm holding them. Netflix is still under 300. I haven't bought it. It hasn't told me to buy it. And I'm reluctant to think that this is a button hook here on this particular stock. But your RSI is down at 30. Your MACD is super down below. If I look at Netflix and I look at the 65-minute, which is the day trading algorithm, which is good. Again, this is a good algorithm. Over the long term, it performs. So it should be able to give you a good buy-in. We just had a buy-in at 294.99. That's essentially, it's on this morning's candle. But the last couple, It's kind of been faking you out with kind of the 8-day. It's just playing around with this 8-day. The 50-day is still in the negative. The 200-day is in the negative. And again, that's on the 65-minute. So it's not, it's not the death cross that is huge. But if you look at it from a 4-hour standpoint, it does look like it might take a turn up. So Netflix under 300, I still say that that's a decent buy. I still think it's a decent buy. If we look at the Qs, same kind of thing. You look at the Qs. If we go to a daily on the Qs, and I want to look at the daily because there's an important thing. You just had a golden cross 2 days ago on the Qs. We talked about this. It is important enough to notice that you had a golden cross. Does it mean that absolutely we're going to get some type of bull run here? Probably not. But the last time we had a golden cross on the daily, I'm still looking at it. I mean, you had your death cross. I can't even pull it back. You had your death cross on March 1st of last year. And you never got above, if you're seeing these blue lines, those are Bollinger Bands. That's not the 50-day. Right here is the 50-day, this blue line that goes down here. And you can see if I highlight it, it pops up here, but then it just continues down. Well, this bull run since January has continued on the 50-day to a golden cross. It's significant enough to bring up. It's not significant enough to absolutely trade on unless you have stocks that you believe in. Now, mind you, TQQQ, which is on the, and we're going to the 4-hour algorithm, just had a cross up at 22.78. You're trading at 22.27. You're down 3% today. This one on a daily, if we were to look at this one daily, let me see if the golden cross happened on this one on a daily. It hasn't. So TQQQ hasn't had it on the daily yet. But on the 4-hour, you had a cross up of the MACD. It's at a decent level. It's just under the oscillator. Your RSI is kind of in no man's land. It's at 48. So do you want to take that chance? Again, the golden cross on the QQQ indicates that we might still be in a bullish run. It's enough to kind of say that. But with the market conditions, commodities and oil are down. Banks are just getting hammered. And we could have a backstop of a 2018, it's not really 2008. It's more like a 2018 where the Fed decided to raise rates. And it just kind of, we crashed about 10%, I think in 2018. It was 10 or 15% for 2 months. And it was November and December. And then all of a sudden, we got to ease back up. So I think you're in that kind of market. And I think you want to be patient. And I'm staying patient because I just don't know where this market is going. I'd like some type of indication that we're going higher for a longer term than I currently see. Just because the market conditions indicate to me that we're in a downward trend. So if I were playing anything, I would be playing the inverse ETFs. And I looked at some and I just didn't find it. We went over them yesterday, how they got crossed up. TRK, which is the ARK, play the SARK today. SARK is up, let's see, it is up 0.97. So it's up 1% today. TARK is down, let's see, TARK, which is the double levered ETF against, that's up just down 2%. So, take your pick. FAZ, which is the bear of the banking. It's the financial. It's the bear. So this one is up 8% today. Take your pick. But again, be patient. I wanted to bring up a couple of stocks today that I thought were important. First is First Republic. FRC is the symbol. If you haven't heard, this one got a downgrade from Moody's. It is in the crosshairs of absolutely being annihilated and being taken over. There are rumors swirling about this one left and right. Here's what you have to know. Yesterday, Jim Lebenthal, who has led me into Cleveland Cliffs and has been a big proponent of Cleveland Cliffs, and I'm a fan, and he says it's a $40 stock, and he hasn't traded it. He owns it, and even though it's run up and down, blah, 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 he yesterday bought FRC. FRC is trading today down 15% at 33. This one at its lows on Monday got down to $17.53. If you were lucky enough to get in at that price, then you're still up, 100% on your money? But if you were to get in yesterday, like all three traders on the lunchtime on CNBC, all three of them got into FRC. And it was yesterday at lunchtime or open. And the open candle yesterday was at 49. 49. The low was 39. So all of those traders are absolutely 100% in the red. In the red. He said, Jim Lebenthal said, when he looked at the bank, they have the majority of their assets in mortgages. And that is something that, if a mortgage, think about it. The mortgages were at 2 and 3% for the last, before the rate started rising last year. So 2020, 2021, you were at between 2 and 4% was your 30-year mortgage. I mean, again, some people got crazy, crazy low rates. And if a bank has to pay 5% interest, but all they have to back it up is a 2% mortgage, you're kind of screwed because you're actually loaning, you're paying people back more than you're actually making on the mortgage. Now, mortgages are a little bit different and they're amortized differently, and they do take out more interest, blah, 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 over the term of the loan than just, an APR kind of thing, APY. So it's a little bit different. But when Jim Lebenthal looked at this, he said, I like that they have the majority of their stuff in mortgages and not Treasury-backed securities, because Treasury-backed securities, if you need to sell those for your liquidity, then you actually are selling them at a reduced price. And that's where Silicon Valley Bank got really screwed. So he said, hey, FRC should be fine. Now, you are taking a chance. It is up significantly, just as we're talking. It was at 33. You're up 10%. It's at 36 right now. It is on quite a run. Let's go to Active Trader Pro and let's look at FRC, because I think you're going to see a jump here. Because I think people are saying 33 is just too low for this bank and we're going to get in. You're at 36. Let's move in a little bit because I do think, look at that bump down to 28 here. This is on a 5-minute chart. You got down to 27.61 here. Boom, you're up at 36. You can trade this for huge, huge swings. You've got confirmation. It's above the 9-day. It's almost at the 21-day. I might buy this at 35. Put in a buy here at 35 if it goes down. I mean, you're already at 36. We were talking it was at 33. But all three traders bought FRC. So that's one you can look at to buy. Another bank that you could look at to buy today if you wanted to take advantage of, is Schwab. The CEO of Schwab, if we go in here and we look at Schwab, there were a ton of insider buys yesterday. And we're not talking small insider buys. These are big insider buys. The CEO, Walter Bettinger, bought $3 million, 50,000 shares at $59. Right now, Schwab is trading at $55. You can buy it for less than he did. There were others who bought like 500,000, others who bought 300,000. There were 5 people that bought insider buys yesterday, all at about 57 to 56. You can buy it for cheaper than they did right now. Schwab said, hey, we've got the deposits. We're fine. The problem that you're going to have is if the government comes out and says they have to get rid of their long-term capital debt, the long-term treasuries, the government will buy them back, but they may have to impose a loss on the company. So the company's earnings will be semi-affected. And when Wall Street looks at that, it's going to be year over year, blah, blah, blah. For a long term, I think Schwab is perfectly fine. So I think you've got FRC, which is trading at 36.60 right now. I think it's probably going to get halted if it's not halted already. It probably is halted. But you've got FRC and you've got Charles Schwab. I think those are the two that if you wanted to buy today, I would stay away from Bank of America. I would stay away from Wells Fargo. I would stay away from JP Morgan. I would look at these two as, hey, we're going to do the Hail Mary, and those are the two that I would do the Hail Mary on. Let's talk about DPST, because some people are saying, hey, DPST, it's down at 7. It's trading at $7.65 right now. Is this one a good one to buy? Well, we opened at $7.53. Its low is $7.53. That's the low. It's at $7.71. You're down 12% from yesterday's close. I think the MACD is down there. I think you can trade this one just like you can trade Schwab and just like you can trade FRC. Here's what you have to know about DPST. It's a triple levered bull ETF. Do not hold this for a long term. If you decide, I would rather see you go into Schwab for a long-term trade or a FRC for another Hail Mary long-term trade than to try and trade DPST around having a full-time job. That's just me. If you had the time to watch the chart and you can scalp DPST, absolutely. I think you're covering this gap up to 11 at some point in time. Trade it and scalp it. Absolutely trade it and scalp it. But in this market, be extremely careful. Just like I saw with the futures early this morning. I woke up, they were only down about 100 points. And then all of a sudden the news of Credit Suisse hits and they were down 600 points. So there's a lot there. Let's go over some of, and I did scan, but I want to be careful to tell you, I don't know that the scans indicate buys. We went over yesterday, Snowflake 137.32. It had a cross up yesterday morning, 137.32. Google, GOOG and GOOGL, whichever one you want to buy. I mean, do your research. GOOG is what they buy back. Short-term GOOG actually produces a little better results than GOOGL. I think it really depends on the time frame. Go to Seeking Alpha and you can look at both from a 1 year, from a year to date, blah, blah, blah. GOOGL cross up at 93, 94. I continue to say anything in the 90s on this one, you're basically winning the game. 94.24 on GOOG. Either one that you want to buy. Walmart had a cross up. And this Walmart cross up is at to do 138.09. 138.09. You're trading at 138.10 right now. Walmart, huge insider sales. And I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but huge insider sales. We're talking billions of dollars from February till March. I mean, you're just, again, you're looking at, it's the Walton family. They're selling billions of dollars of shares at about this price, between 130 and 150. So they're selling. It's your opportunity to buy, in my opinion. They sell it to raise their own, they have to put pools in their 40 or 50 houses that they own. XLK, this is the technology spider fund. The cross up 139.62. You're trading at 138. I'd be careful with this one. It's over its 200-day. Just be careful. I think you could get it for a better price. But again, if you want to invest in technology long term and you want to go in, just get it. I mean, just get it. Apple had a secondary cross up. This one, 153.78. You're still in this. It had a secondary cross up. You're in this ascending triangle. I say you could probably get it in the 140s. Again, it crossed up. I feel the need to bring it up. But if the chart kind of tells me that I think you can get it lower, I'll kind of tell you. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, we talked about it yesterday. 88.89 was the cross up. It's at 86. I think you're coming back to fill this gap down here at 81, which is closer to the 200-day. I'd probably just wait. Again, for a long term, you're not even going to notice. But Taiwan Semi, you've got some China tensions with, you got some Russia tensions with the drone yesterday. Boeing yesterday had a Saudi airline buy all 80 of their Dreamliners. 207.15 is the cross up. You're under 200, 198. This one is down 4% today. Again, you're getting beaten down on a lot of this stuff. Meta had a cross up. They are laying off 15,000. Well, they're eliminating 15,000 jobs, 10,000 jobs. They're laying people off. 5,000 they're just closing the requisites for. This one had a cross up here at 184. It's at 193. I think this one probably goes to about 215 or 220 in my estimation in the short term. I think long term, you get back to cover this gap to 319. He is cutting so much cost out of the business. It is crazy. Let's see. What's 15,000 times 200,000?
The answer is $3 billion.
$3 billion. Average probably salary of those 15,000 people that he's cutting is about 200,000, because you're out there in Silicon Valley. So average probably, again, it's middle management that he's cutting. He's not cutting engineers and stuff. He's cutting the middle management. They're making about $200,000 a year. So that's a crazy amount. But yeah, FRC, by the way, is halted. FRC is halted at 33. I just have news up there on it. But yeah, FRC is halted. Costco had a cross up. I'd be careful with this one as well. It's down at 480. I continue to see this. It had a cross up. 481.94 is the cross up on the 4 hour. I continue to see this gap down here. Your boy here doesn't own it. I don't own it at all. We talked about TQQQ having a cross up on the 4 hour. And the golden cross up, the triple Qs, 22.78. You're trading at 22.18. So XLP, which is consumer staples, totally different. XLP, 72.07. You're trading at 71.79. You're hanging on the 200-day. That's all it is. Are you going back down here to 67? Probably not. This gap down here between, $70 and $70.50, you're probably going to cover it at some point. But you know what? If you're buying this one, you're buying it for long term. Don't trade that one. XLV, the technology sector, this one had a cross up. The only reason it had a cross up is because shit was flying yesterday. 126.45. It's not a horrible price. If you look back here at the October and September lows, you're right about there for the XLV. So if you want to get into technology and you want the top technology funds, you can buy this one. Buy it and hold it till it's back at 130s. I mean, I own this one. I own a large portion of this one. I have a big long-term gain in this one. XLV is the healthcare. I'm sorry. That's why it's so far down. It's not technology. Why am I saying technology is down? XLV is healthcare. And XLV it's just been beaten down. But again, you're probably up here at 130s. 126 is not a bad price, and you're buying it at 125. XLK is the technology. Sorry. XLK is technology, and this one had a cross up here above the 200-day at 139. Yeah. I own this one. I only buy it when it's under the 200-day. I buy it with dividends, automatic dividend reinvestment. So I do buy it when it's over the 200-day every now and then, but oh well. BABA had a cross up. Now, BABA's an interesting one, and I pointed this out. TrendSpider did a long-term chart of this, and it's in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can. But what's interesting about this is you're trading in the range of 2016, and what they went over was the size of the company and the size of the revenues in 2016 versus the size of the company and the size of the revenues today. So if you think that a company in 2016 that was promising growth, that has gotten the growth, blah, 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 that's what they were being valued on, is the growth, and they continued to show growth. Now they haven't shown as much growth percentage-wise, but they are an enormous company where the stock value is actually worth a little bit more. So the question is, do we see that hook up? Do we button hook? Do we see that as an opportunity? I think anything in the 80s here, again, you have to worry about the political position. So BABA had a cross up. Nike, and I'm not bringing up all the cross ups. I'm just bringing up the ones that I think are decent opportunities. Nike had a cross up at 118.94. I wouldn't buy it. I would wait till you get down below that 200-day, and you will get down there. 103 is the gap. 103 to 113 is the gap that you're seeing on the screen. I don't know that it will get down to 103 because that was at the December lows. The October lows, you were way down here at 87. That was just too cheap for this stock. 118, for me, a little bit expensive. You're buying in there. The all-time high is probably about 130. You're buying in there, just a little bit too high for me. KHC, Kraft Heinz. I don't know that I'd necessarily get into this one. And the reason I don't know that I'd get into Kraft Heinz, hold on, I got to refresh TrendSpider. But the reason I wouldn't necessarily get into Kraft Heinz is because I think if we are heading into a recession, people will basically trade down and they'll buy the store brand instead of the Kraft Heinz brand. I'm that person. I will buy the store brand over the Kraft Heinz version. And that's just me. Kraft Heinz is the cross up here at 38.13. It's below its 200-day. I just worry about the recession fears with this one. In the last the last three positions you've got in have been losing. You got out with a 4% gain on this one. It was all the way up here at 42. You passed your ex-dividend date. Your next earnings date is April 25th, so there's not much. So I'm going to keep it short today. I think the bank stocks you can absolutely have a field day with. Looks like FRC opened back up. Let me see if I can change this to one. Maybe my Active Trader Pro may have just frozen. Yeah, I think it's frozen. Or it's not changing the to a 1 minute chart either way. There we go. But yeah, I think Schwab and FRC are your good trades today. Honest to God, I think, these are opportunities to get into this. And FRC is at 36. Like I said, we were talking about it at 33. I just get my Active Trader Pro is a little screwy, but we can go to a 5-minute chart on TrendSpider and just look at, let's look at a 5-minute chart. There's a 1-minute chart if you want to see a 1-minute chart, but I like the 5-minute chart. Again, yeah, you're trading at 33.42. It looks like it opened back up. Looks like Fidelity's having a little bit of issue, or just maybe my computer. 33.62. But you can see it's sliding down. The gap up here goes to 82. Ignore that. Ignore that 82. You've got a gap up here to 38. I think you could probably see that one. You can see that the volume is an upward trend. The MACD is down here. The RSI is at 36. Be careful. If you want one that, in my mind, is a good buy, I think Schwab's a good buy here. If you on the 4-hour, it still doesn't look like it has confirmation on the 4-hour. Let's look at the 65-minute for Schwab, the day trading one. I think anything below 60 is good. This just got you out on the current candle with a 0.58. It's below its 8-day. But your MACD is still rising. Your RSI is at 40, so it's not a complete Neverland. Let's go to a 5-minute chart and look at Schwab. Excuse me. You're above your 9-day. I think you're fine. Might at 57. Anything below that 59, I think you're good. Sponsors, Visible is the sponsor. Click on the link below. If you're paying anything more than $30 per month for unlimited service, go and buy Visible. You'll get $20 with the link below off your first month. I have Visible personally. I love it. I use more data than I have in the past just because I'm unlimited. I go out there, I get 5G service. I have been sitting next to exactly the same Verizon people who are paying $80 for their Verizon plan. Remember, Visible's on the Verizon platform. I am sitting next to them. I do speed tests. We're getting the same speed. I sometimes get higher. Remember to tip. If you make some money, tip me. It's on the link tree below. Just give me a little gift. Again, if you buy a $5 drink and you give your bartender a tip, you can think of me the same thing. I'm your stock bartender. So if I give you a tip and you make money on it, share the wealth. ID Shop, they are my employer. Go to idshop.com for all of your printing, badge, security, whatever you need. Go to ID Shop. If they sell it, you can reach out to them. They are great, great people. I love them. And TrendSpider, if you like the charts that I post, if you want to get access to my 4-hour algorithm, if you want to set up the 65-minute algorithm, which is out there on the YouTube video with TrendSpider, if you want any of that stuff, get TrendSpider. Use the link down below and the code DSP25 to get 25% off. I find this an essential tool in trading. I don't trade without it. So there are 3 tools that I generally use, and that is TrendSpider, that is FinViz, and that is Active Trader Pro. Without those, I feel naked trading. Honest to God, I can use an app on my phone to actually pull the trigger and actually trade, but without those charts, without those fundamentals, I just feel naked trading. Builder sentiment beats. Highest level in 6 months. Lennar is up 1.6%. Wow. The builder sentiment is high. So those are the sponsors. That's it. I will be gone tomorrow and Friday. I will be back on Monday. I'll be in the private Facebook group. So if you have questions, hit me up there. I am not taking my computer. I am going hiking. So I probably will not have access to charts, but I'll still have access to FinViz. So I will be like naked trader. Probably just doing fundamental stuff if you want. Again, I think FRC is halted again. But be careful in the market. If you want to day trade. I think you can use the levered ETFs. Again, in TrendSpider, I have different watch lists. I have different scans that I'll provide you. It is not a plug and play kind of system. It is one that you customize for yourself that you feel comfortable with. And it takes a little while to set up, but it is totally worth it. I'm telling you, a week or two of actually fiddling with it, you get to see, they share a bunch of their strategies with you. They share a bunch of scanning data with you. You can see data flow. You can trade options. There's unusual options activity in here. There's insider trading. There's tabular data. There's everything. You can find heat maps, candle patterns, scripts. You can do a bunch of stuff. You can even trade with bots. But I do trade with this. So I will not have access to it this week, so that's why I will not be trading per se. I am going to put probably a buy-in for Schwab today. Again, I think anything below 59 is a great buy. If it were me, I'm looking at this gap right on my screen here, and this is on the 65, on the 5-minute. And the gap is between 52 and 54. I think I want to get it below 54. I do think at some point in time today we go below 54. I think this bank trade is just so volatile that we go below 54 at some point in time. The VIX is up at 27. It was up at 28 earlier, so I think we're kind of finally showing some stability. But again, be careful out there. It's a war. Don't step on a grenade. Have a great week, guys. See you. Bye. Okay, export song to disk. I get chatty in the end. Okay, let's see. What were you guys saying? Hey, morning, Brian. Yeah, I got on late. I was listening to a bunch of stuff. I went out to dinner last night. And whenever I go out to eat versus eating at home, it's always a nightmare because they use too much salt, they use too much butter, there's too much seasoning on the food, and I wind up being dehydrated at night, even though I go to bed drinking a ton of water and stuff. Hey, Brian, that's what what's his name? Mike Novogratz was saying this morning. He said, if you want to make a run on the bank, he said, pull your money out of the bank and put it into crypto. He said it has a better return than any stock that you've seen over the past 5 years. He might have said 10. And he used JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all of those as examples. And he said, if you think it's volatile, it's returned a better return. So maybe it's not going up and down. Maybe it's going down much more, up and down much more, but you've just had a better return. Credit Suisse, CDS, cross default swaps, 5-year, they're up 14% today. credit default swaps. Oh. They're pricing in a default for credit suites. Save. I think this will start working once I actually get over to it like that. I just think I may have to buy a new computer here. I may have to get one of those M1 iMacs. New episode. Create an episode. Browse. And I'm going to the mountains, by the way, tomorrow, Brian. Tomorrow I'm going to the mountains. Transition. I like swapping tubes. The name. Literally, that's the name. I should post a picture of it. Of what I have to choose from in Spotify. And I didn't go over that much. I hope I was... there are significantly more people that listen to the podcast than log on to Facebook, log on to YouTube, or anything of that sort. So when you hear me be a little bit cautious on the podcast, it's mostly because my thought over that is they are not as seasoned traders, and they might have full-time jobs, and there might be some other things that they have going on that they shouldn't be trading. So when I say DPST, I think you're fine trading DPST if you know what you're doing and scalping. In fact, let's see. I don't know why Active Trader Pro isn't updating, but yeah. I in my mind, when three traders on halftime on CNBC all say, and they are conservative traders, these are not people that get in and out a lot. When they all say, we got into this because it doesn't make sense to us, and they got in higher than you're trading today, either they're taking losses and they'll come on and tell you that they're taking losses, or they're in for the volatility, and they're not throwing 100% of their stuff in there. FRC and Schwab. Schwab. SPY, QQQ. I didn't do that. Didn't do that. Didn't mention PXD. By the way, energy's just getting killed, I think. Let's see. Devon is still down 5%. Let's see what PXD is. Oh, I didn't add PXD into my. Oh, I need to add it in my portfolio. Let me see brokerage holdings. I have Devon. PXD is down another 2%. That's at 190. Whew. Wow. Okay, and I am going to publish now, and then I'm going to go to Twitter. Yeah, and that's what the guy was saying yesterday, the CEO. I listened to the CEO and I liked him. He was not. I don't think he was bullshitting anybody. Let's put it that way. I think he was very matter of fact when he told, "Hey, I just bought it with my own money. I don't think that people should take their purchase decisions lightly." He goes, "But I do feel like this company is well positioned. We've had enough." And he specifically said this. He said, "We've had enough inflows that I feel comfortable putting my money where my mouth is and believing in the people of this company." So he did a good job, I thought. I really thought so. And I got to tell you, I liked him a lot. TPST, we're going to take this out and we're going to tweet that. Boom. If I knew for sure, Ryan, I'd be a lot richer than I currently am. But let me just post this real quick. I'll bring you back to FinViz. So here's where you can go. Go to FinViz. Just go to the homepage, finviz.com. And click on that heat map. This is a heat map of the S&P. You can look at the S&P. You can look at the world. You can look at full. But this S&P is a great heat map. You can see Netflix is up 0.58. Intel has quietly risen from 25 to 28 in a down market. Crazy. D.R. Horton up 0.54. Lennar up 2%. KMB, Kimberly-Clark, up 0.99. Dollar General up 0.54. You can see utilities. Utilities are going up. That's an indication that people are flying to safety. Here's healthcare. Healthcare hasn't been flying up, but it actually doesn't look as bad. You know, healthcare up here, healthcare plans, medical devices, the general healthcare doesn't look as bad, as the rest of it. Look at financials. I mean, financials are significantly down. So the big reds here are financials, gas, oil. This is all energy over here. Basic materials. Gold is up, but your basic materials are way down. Your industrials are way down. Your information technology is way down. Semiconductors are way down. So take a look at these sectors, and I think the ones that the safety that I've always been told for recessions, and again, I haven't lived through a quote unquote prolonged recession, because even 2008, 2009 wasn't a prolonged recession. It was longer than recent history, but it hasn't been prolonged recession. Energy goes down because people use less. Utilities go up because they pay a dividend, and they basically, you get they're a regulated industry, so you get a constant kind of return. Procter and Gamble, those are, let's see what that is going to be in consumer cyclical, I think. Over here, household and PE. It's all under consumer defensive. You can see it, consumer cyclical is up here. So the black portions are your big overall sectors. And then you can see basic materials, utilities, healthcare, financial, technology, communication services. Google is over here, consumer cyclical. It's a great way. It's a great way to look at this market. Look at Schwab, up 1.77 at 57. DPST is up at $8 now, $8.28. Schwab is at 57, 60. Yeah. Let's go to 5 minute. There we go. Active traders finally working. But if you want to look at sectors, this is the sector. These are the sectors to look at. And then say you find, you want to go and find utilities. SPDR utilities ETF. It's XLU. Just Google it. Oh. Did I muff? I don't know. Let me see. Let me go to Spotify and listen. Sometimes I do listen to myself just to make sure. Your library, new episodes. Let's see. Oh, I got to turn the sound up.
Good morning. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, March 15th.
Sounds okay.
Let's see. Europe
Cooper's my sound designer.
Oil and commodities are down. Credit Suisse in Europe, by the way, is the bank that
sounds
is
okay.
crashing. We went over Credit Suisse a couple months ago. We're at $4. It was great.
Sounds okay to me. But again, I'm listening through my phone. It could be.
Let me go to Spotify and listen.
Oh, hold on.
Sometimes I do listen to myself just to...
I have to lower that down and then go back to live. Wow. Great move, Cooper. I wasn't smart enough to do that, but great move. Great move. Yeah, so you guys know Cooper is a sound master who kind of taught me about compression and how my sound was not optimal. So I think it sounds better. Again, I'm using a USB mic. I'm not using a traditional mic. So what's he doing? Is he aerating? Hold on one second. Nope, he's just spraying. Okay. I thought my neighbor was getting his lawn aerated. True Green comes out and aerates his lawn, and sometimes I will walk out there and go, listen, here's $20. Take 10 minutes and aerate my lawn for me. And the guy will do it. Devin is continuing to fall. So, okay, guys, I got to get out of here because I got to fix my front door. I got to make sure that the dogs are taken care of. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on the private Facebook group. Brian, I know you're in there. Continue to post. Love it. Keep it active in there while I'm gone. And again, I think FRC and Schwab are your plays. I think the DPST, in my mind, what are we on? Yeah, we're on. I think you could play this one for an oversold bounce. On the 65-minute, it still doesn't have you in because it's not over the 8-day. But this candle right here, the 930 candle, so it goes to 1035. But this candle right here is 11%. You're trading at $8.40. Your high is $9.56. Just in this one candle. And here, let's see if we can. I'm going to add in the purple here is the 8-day. So it kind of matches the 9-day. I just don't like it in there with it. But it kind of matches this green line, the 9-day. So it's not going to close above it. You know, let me see if it's a triple levered ETF. So the realistic price is 0. Honest to God, the realistic price is 0. It puts off a 3.86% dividend, just because the banks all pay dividends. So since they're investing in stuff, they pay a dividend. I don't know if it's quarterly. I don't know if it's monthly, but yearly percentage is 3.86. I just don't know when they pay it. Let's see. Let's see if somebody has some other thoughts. Here's the first thing. Yeah, FAS, FAZ, KRE. DPST down almost 17%. I mean, realistically, Brandon, I would say it's worth 0 because it constantly is trading so much that its actual fees are outweighing its actual gains. But in a healthy consumer bank market, if we just go and look at let's look at a daily of this one. Today, I would say a realistic price on DSP without the financial crisis, because I don't think it goes back to 2008. I don't think this was around back then. No, it only goes back to about 2015. And you can see when it started, it kind of climbed up, and then it really tanked down. I mean, this candle right here, which was March 2020, this was COVID. It got down to $7. And this candle right here, which is this year, it got down to $6.96. So $7 seems to be a pretty good low point for this. But the high point, I mean, if you all of a sudden, for instance, you know, the banks are totally healthy. It's $20 stock. You ain't getting to $20 on this one. Don't mistake that I think it's going to 20. But look at the volume levels. I mean, you know, just this month, all of a sudden you've got interest in it. So I think, but it's clear to me, $7 is kind of a floor on this. And you're trading at $8.22. You're not too far off the floor. So I think if it were me and I were trading this one, I would 100% have a stop loss at $7. I don't care what you buy it at. I would have a stop loss at $7 because if this breaks $7, who knows how low it can go? I mean, that's an all-time low. So who knows how low it could go? And they absolutely will do a 5-for-1 or a 10-for-1 reverse split. Look at that. Reverse split right there, 5-for-1. So they'll do that. I just think, you know, I don't know how high it can go, but I do know if you're actually trading it and you're trading it in the 7s, I think you're safe. But I absolutely would not buy or sell if it goes below 7. I just think at that point you're talking about something broke, since that's an all-time low. I mean, the world was shut down in March of 2020, and this went to 7. So shit wasn't getting done, and it went to 7. Shit is still getting done, and you're at $8.
It's just a question of is stuff going to fall and break? Okay, Brian, thanks. I probably will. I just got to worry about the dogs and stuff. You guys have a great day. Hit me up if you have any questions. I wish you guys luck. I hope you guys make a ton of money. I hope everybody wins on this one. And I hope your losers are less than mine. Mine are pretty steep at this point between Bank of America, Cleveland Cliffs, and PXD, Wells Fargo. But they're long-term. They're all long-term. So I